Hi, I'm dkWells, and I want to introduce you to my new CD, Thank God for Thomas Edison. Thank God for Thomas Edison has been about a 2-year project. Started when I opened up my new studio here at the studio at Baker Street, where we did all the recording under the record label Storm Crow Records, which is my new record label. And I'm really excited to share this CD with you.
Thank God for Thomas Edison. He made my favorite medicine.
The title track really came about as a result of a bucket list check, if you will, when I took a trip to Bonnaroo. Track Thank God for Thomas Edison came about as some of you might know who've been to Bonnaroo. You basically camp out. It's a very primitive environment. In fact, if you get up early in the morning, you get up on a high point and look, you can see just miles of tents, dirt roads, outhouses, the whole gamut. You feel like you're like in a refugee camp till the music starts, and then you lose yourself in that music. It was a really hot summer that particular year, and so the amenities of having air conditioning, a nice shower, someplace cool to relax in between acts really was non-existent. So I just started thinking about, man, electricity, isn't that a lovely thing? Not only that I lacked it in my tent and in my camping environment, but how it enhanced my experience at Bonnaroo, going to the shows, the lighting, the sound, everything electric that comes with rock and roll. So it was really kind of a juxtaposition. And I started to write the song when I just had enough and got in my car one night, turned it on, and turned on the air conditioning. I was in heaven. And then pop, man, the words just came out. Thank God for Thomas Edison. Then I took some liberties with the song and made it more fun. That's one of the things I'm trying to do with this CD is have a little more of a fun approach to my music and my writing. And so as you'll hear the lyrics, you're going to see a lot of sexual innuendos and things of that nature, but we're just having fun with electricity, and thank God for Thomas Edison. The song Holiday Inn is the newest track actually on this CD as far as when it was written. It actually bumped another song that I was going to put on the CD, and it came to me in my sleep. So literally the song, the sound, the chords, the lyrics, everything. I woke up like I had just dreamed it about 3:30 in the morning one morning, and got up, jotted it down. It's the only track on the CD that we actually cut live. Now the concept of it came to me just thinking about the different things actually in my sleep, but I was dreaming about my childhood, and the Holiday Inn was like a key component of everywhere my family went on vacation. We didn't have a lot of money, and that seemed like a nice hotel to me at the time. I'm sure it was. Obviously it has its different connotations today, and so I did a little bit of that, again, juxtaposition of what it was like for me as a youth, and then through my college years, and basically experiences you have as a band member in the Holiday Inns.
I'm seeing inside my soul. There's really nowhere else to go.
Inside My Soul is a song that kind of goes back almost to the open heart, open mind concept. Inside My Soul was actually written way before the recording sessions began, but it's something that I had written and was playing live, and it kind of has that old spirituality viewpoint to it that was prevalent in my first CD. It's definitely a rocker, and the truth is always inside your soul.
I've got to stand in here, keep on living blues.
Keep on Living Blues is really kind of an anthem to orphans. When I say that, I mean us who are now old enough, and you don't necessarily have to be my age, but that's probably more prevalent, where your parents are gone, your grandparents are gone, you're really the next one up, if you will. You're hitting cleanup in the game of life. And it really hit home. I was on the plane again to Denver to visit family and go to Anita's funeral, and this song came to me while I was flying in the plane. and it's really just about that experience. And though I don't sing about her, the three people I mentioned in this song is my grandmother, my mother, and my father. And all three of those I actually watched pass away. So it was really what led to that lyric of, I got to standing here watching you die in blues. I got to standing here, keep on living blues. So my testament to my family and to life in general is you got to keep on living, even though you feel like sometimes you have the blues. Well, we've already heard about Bonnaroo and my experience there, which really, gave us the title. Thank God for Thomas Edison. But this song is titled Bonnaroo, Bada Bing. And it's really just the experience of being there that 4 days. And in the lyrics, I'm going to leave it up to you. It's kind of a puzzle. It's really playing off of all the different groups that I saw during that time, tying them into the experience of being there. So it's very allegorical that way. What's literal about it, obviously, is the name Bonnaroo. And the other thing was my favorite food there was called the Bada Bing pizza. So that's what I have, Bonnaroo, Bada Bing.
I'm 55, double nickel. Getting out of a pickle, can you spare me a dime?
Double nickel is really a testament to, well, obviously it was my age when I wrote the song, which was last year. So I began the process of this album at 54. I wrote this song, Double Nickel, at 55, thus the title, and now I'm 56 with the release of the CD. 55 is kind of a key time. I enjoy being older, actually. I'm much wiser, I think. Sometimes I don't know, but I think I am. But I'm just more relaxed with life and embrace more of myself. Ironically, when I had turned 21, I wrote a song called 21. And I make a reference to that in this song. When I was 21, I sang about all the things I'd done. That was actually a lyric in that song. And then I started listing all the things I had done by the time I was 21. But it seemed like at the time I had done a heck of a lot at 21. Well, at 55, that was a drop in the bucket. My life has been totally full since then. Travels and just blessed with a lot of things, business and music and friends and family and now a grandson. So, life moves on and it gets better if that's the way you want to look at it. And that's what this song is about. It's about realizing that, hey, at 55, there's still a lot of living to do. And you might as well enjoy it and use the gifts that you have. So one of my favorite heroes, which I'll allude to later, Ian Anderson, wrote a song, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. I suggest to Ian that he and I should get together and write a song called You're Never Too Old to Rock and Roll, and You're Always Too Young to Die. It's becoming a genre I think I'm going to create called Boomer Box Rock.
Set your world on fire, on fire.
Set Your World on Fire is a song about hope and love. It's simply that. So I really enjoy this song. Had a lot of help from Jeff Ennis, who's my co-producer on this, is my partner in the studio. Did most of the major guitar work that you're going to hear and love. He's just a talented musician, and he came up with the harmony part, which has a big less feel to it. So it's a fun song, but it's a song with a lot of meaning about love and hope. The Lover is a song I wrote when I'm thinking about all the things it takes to be the lover. So in my experience, and through now 27 years of marriage, these are all points that I've hit in being the lover in my life. So it's just really about sharing that, and hopefully you can relate to it.
She wears imitation pearls. She's two parts woman and all girl.
Genuine Imitation Pearls is again one of the newer songs on the CD, and it came about a lot of different ways. Actually, the first part of it was an inspiration of when I knew I was getting ready to do this CD. I was starting to develop songs. I wanted to start playing out more often and see what people liked, what they didn't like, to get a feel for things. And so at that point, Jeff, Ennis, and myself were playing outside as a duo, doing most of our original songs, and then some few choice covers. But so that brought us into the bar environment again, which I haven't played in bars since I was, in my late teens and early 20s. So it was like a flashback, if you will. But this time I'm older, I'm looking out the crowd, and everybody's younger, or they're trying to act like they're younger. And I found that kind of interesting. So this particular song was based off an experience I had with someone who was a little bit closer to my age, not quite as old as I am, but really trying to be, 20, and it just wasn't working. And that's where I got the line, it doesn't take much to fake it in this world. She wears genuine imitation pearls. Even though she wasn't wearing pearls that night, that line came to me when I started thinking about, fake and things like that. A few years ago, I had been on a trip to Italy, and we had made a day trip from Rome down to Naples, or if you're Italian, that'd be Roma to Napoli. And outside of Naples, saw this booth, and it said genuine imitation watches. And I just thought it was so funny. The idea that, he knew he was selling fake watches, but hey, they were genuine imitation watches. That gave it a really good positive marketing spin. Being an advertising marketing company owner that I am, I really thought that was a great idea. So when I started writing this song, I remembered seeing that sign, and that's where I got the line, genuine imitation pearls.
Pull that trigger again.
Pull That Trigger Again is another Bonnaroo related song. I actually wrote it again in my air-conditioned car at Bonnaroo one morning after the experience that the song is all about, and the actual lines and the words are all words that were either spoken by myself or the person I'm referring to in the song. Well, around the third day, I got up early. It was one of the first cool mornings, and I just had been tired of laying down, so it was probably roughly 5:30 in the morning, something like that. And I get outside my tent, and there's one of the guys from the next tent, and he's out, and he's just walking around in circles. And so I went over and we started talking. Well, it turns out he had just come back from his 7th tour duty. He was a Marine sniper, and he was able to get home and go to Bonnaroo with his friends, and then he was getting ready for his 8th deployment. And basically he bared his soul to me. It's the closest I think I could feel like if I were a priest here in confession. He shared a lot of things with me because his family he was kind of estranged from, and he couldn't really relate to them. He was having a hard time finding somebody who could just listen and not judge. And so this whole thing's about him unloading on me helping him as best I could. Being the leprechaun at dawn is one of the lines. The holy monk helps unload his junk. That's how I felt during this period. The whole idea was pull that trigger again. He knew he was going to have to do it. But I was sharing with him that could also be a journey of life, that you got to keep pulling that trigger. You got to keep facing adversities and pull that trigger. And eventually you'll get to where you need to be.
Hell on wheels beats hell on wheels forever. I lay down, you lay tread on me.
Hell on Heels is about 1973. It was a great year. Led Zeppelin Houses of the Holy came out. Aerosmith was hitting it big. I was an assistant manager during that summer at the swimming pool. During my high school break, I had just gotten my driving license, and hey, I lost my virginity. So that's what this song's about, Hell on Heels.
I'm a space cowboy, real hard hand, looking for some space in this great big land.
Space Cowboy is a song that I wrote in Austin, Texas. I go to South by Southwest almost every year. Most years I go. And I've actually become very good friends with several people from that area who are in bands or in the music industry. And this is really about Austin, Texas. Allen Boots is where I now buy my boots when I go there. About having a good time and enjoying the music and embracing being a spaced cowboy instead of a corporate guru.
I'm not helpless, I'm homeless.
Homeless, Not Helpless was a song I wrote right before beginning to record the Thank God for Thomas Edison CD. And it was again written fairly quickly. The inspiration came very strongly. And where it really began was, again, it was at a time where Jeff and I were playing out as duos, and a friend of ours, Paul Manningly, who's been a friend of ours for a long time, been in around the music business here in the Evansville area for a long time, hosts a radio show here, and does a lot to support the local community as far as music goes. He's also on the board of United Caring Shelters, which is a homeless shelter. And so he asked if we'd be willing to play gratis for one of their events outside. It was last summer. And I thought, you know, that'd be a great idea. I'd love giving back to the community. I love supporting the cause. And so I just happened to be talking with a friend of mine in England who's also in the music business over there. And he challenged me. He says, you know, it's one thing to play. You need to write a song about being homeless. And you know, I thought, hey, you know, you're right. So kind of actually slept on this one again. I woke up the next morning and wrote Homeless, Not Helpless. And I realized, hey, you know, we're only just a step away. So never take things for granted and always support those who need your help.
I carry the torch that lights the way for you and me.
I Carry the Torch is a song, again, that I wrote in Austin, Texas on one of my South by Southwest trips. It's based on an artist and a friend, and actually a close friend now of mine, Cole Hansen, who's an artist who currently resides in Austin, Texas, originally from Salt Lake City, Utah. This is a story really about her life. She battled a lot of different struggles in her youth, and then really conquered them all, and actually was chosen to carry the Olympic torch at the Salt Lake City Olympic Games. And so one night we were sitting outside of Momo's, which unfortunately now no longer exists in Austin. But after hearing a couple of bands we wanted to go see together, we're sitting outside and she's sharing with me this story, and it really inspired me to write I Carry the Torch. So that's what this song's about.
Wondering aloud how we feel today.
I alluded earlier that Ian Anderson is one of my musical heroes. Jethro Tull, that whole band, were a big influence on me as early as the late 60s and early 70s, when I really first began to embrace rock and roll and get involved in playing music myself. And Wondering Aloud and these little short ditties are always some of my favorite songs that he's written. And so this is a tribute to that part of my life. It's an important part of my life, and hope that you like this rendition of Wondering Aloud.
Thank God for Thomas Edison. He made my favorite medicine possible to play.
Again, thanks again for listening to my stories about the songs that were written for Thank God for Thomas Edison. I hope that you buy the CD. I hope that you listen to it. If it's, you know, even for free, you can do that on my website. And I'd be remiss without giving some shout outs to some of the people that made this CD and the music as incredible as it is. And first and foremost, Jeff Ennis, my partner in the studio at Baker Street, and his musicality, his production sense, his guitar playing is stellar. His wife Rachel Ennis, who is well known here as a great rock vocalist, provided a lot of the backup vocals that you'll hear. Ali Tadros, who is one of my Austin, Texas musician friends who now moved to Brooklyn, New York. Sam McClellan, who's from Toronto, Canada, is probably one of the best upright bass players I've ever met, especially for being really a young woman. And her ability is incredible. She played the upright on Pull That Trigger Again. She also played the upright but bow style on I Carry the Torch. Also would like to give a shout out to several bass players besides Sam. When we say Stick, he's a Grammy Award winning bass player who happened to be from Evansville, Indiana. Then Josh Flowers is another bass player from Austin, Texas. Also a shout out to another Austinite, Ben Balmer, who is one hell of a harmonica player, and you're going to hear his work throughout the CD. And he also contributed the resonator guitar work on Bonnaroo. Another backup singer who's well known in the Evansville area, is a very talented musician in her own right, Andrea Worth. Eric Scales is a heck of a keyboard player. He contributed all the keyboard work that you're going to hear on the CD, with the exception of the minimal stuff that I did on Holiday Inn. And finally, Jamie Mars put that rock backbeat right in there.
Thank God for Thomas Edison. He made my favorite medicine possible.